Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I want everybody from the UK to strap themselves in because we're about to take a look at the madness going on within England. And for anybody who lives outside the UK, hasn't heard about this story, doesn't know what's going down, you too now for free can also witness the delusion. Don't say I don't do anything for you. So controversy recently has been going on for quite some time because of a talk that was being held yesterday at the Oxford Union. A peaceful talk, might I add, something liberals, progressives have no idea about. But the controversy comes because the Oxford Union invited a professor that goes by the name of Kathleen Stock. Now, this professor was formerly at the University of Sussex, but they left because they were deemed gender critical, transphobic, etc., etc. There was a load of controversy, and one of the biggest things essentially this professor believes in is women's safe spaces and that trans women aren't women. So really, they stand for the truth, and in today's world, we all know that's like kicking the hornet's nest, you know? When you stand for something that is based in truth and goes against what loads of people are trying to tell you in society today, the hornets, they will chase you into silence. Well, that's the goal anyway, and they tried to, but thankfully this talk went ahead, and just like when Matt Walsh or Ben Shapiro give a talk at an institution, there's protests. The BBC go on to report protests at Oxford Union as talks go ahead. Hundreds of people gathered outside the Oxford Union to protest against a talk by the gender-critical academic Kathleen Stock. Professor Stock said she was very determined for the talk to go ahead despite some students responding angrily to her invitation to the event. Some say her views on gender identity are transphobic, apparently just like everything else today, so I don't really know how you can quantify that anymore. The protest came after the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said the talk by Professor Stock should be allowed to go ahead. Agree or disagree with her, Professor Stock is an important figure in this argument. Students should be allowed to hear and debate her views, he said. Universities should be an environment where debate is supported, not stifled. We mustn't allow a small but vocal few to shut down discussion. Wow. A politician in the UK coming out and saying that, ring the bells. The world is about to end. That's probably one of the best things Rishi Sunak has said, which is also surprising. If Keir Starmer was in charge, this event, this talk would have been cancelled many days ago. But the idea, clearly, as you can see, of freedom of speech is being trampled on. And we all know this. We've known this for quite some time. And it's really funny because it's coming from the side who also claim their voices aren't being heard and their rights are being taken away, which is funny to me because they go out of the way to make sure people's voices are not heard. Their ideology has been placed on such a high pedestal that nobody dare question it, and if they do, they're the ones in the wrong. Their careers must be stopped. Their social media accounts must be banned. They must be fired. Their talks cannot go ahead. Remember though, love is love and be kind. This has all come about because one woman had a different opinion. She has a different opinion and people get this mad. They go out of their way to try and make sure somebody's talk didn't go ahead. This country's looking great. But we're going to take a look now at what some of these people who turned up to this protest are all standing for. What are their opinions on such things? Because Sky News and other organizations went around and interviewed some of these people and, well, this is what they had to say. And I know you're going to enjoy this. I promise you now, one of the clips made me burst out laughing. It's hilarious. Take a watch.
Out of the closet!
Into the streets!
Out of the closet!
Into the streets!
LGBT!
With a T!
LGBT!
With a T!
LGBT!
With a T!
Saying that trans women are not women is devalidating them. It's depriving them of their identity.
I think it's reasonable that people are speaking and we can invite academic guests to speak. The question is, and our questions are asking, whether there's merit.
Gen Z, you students have taught me and showed me that there's more to it than just the simple, simplistic argument that free speech matters. And that is that words have meaning and that things are very sensitive right now. Our trans allies our trans students are being subject to so much abuse.
We're in serious trouble, aren't we? We really are. All of this, remember, because one person, a woman, it seems like these progressives are so scared of women these days. I can't imagine why, but because one woman had a different opinion, there was this much uproar. They didn't want her attending the Oxford Union debate. They're so scared of people saying something different because they know a lot of the time people are telling the truth. But the protest didn't just stop outside. Oh, no. They had to carry on inside, and somebody sat down in this event right in front of the professor and glued themselves to the floor. This individual goes by the name of Riz, I believe, and they use they/them pronouns, and they posted this lengthy thread on Twitter that we're going to take a brief look at, and it's going to be brief because I actually want to get out of this chair today. But they go on to say anyway, the consequences of Stock's message and the broader media hate campaign are extensive. Trans people in the UK are stigmatised, threatened and harassed. Life-saving, gender-affirming healthcare is near impossible to access and the process is consistently degrading. Trans lives and rights should not be up for debate, but the union did not even provide that. My goal was to show the other side, to ensure everyone who listened to Stock's talk also considered the dangerous consequences of those views for trans people, particularly trans youth. Kathleen Stock is not welcome here. TERFs are not welcome here. We will resist hatred and we will fight for trans rights. Trans people, including trans youth, deserve to live in peace, safe from bigotry and harassment with access to life-saving, gender-affirming healthcare. So the dramatization by these people is a classic tactic and it never really works, so I don't know why they actually carry on to do so, if I'm going to be honest. Apparently, you know, the world is under threat. Their world is under threat. Somebody's opinion has now made their world under threat. Again, I don't really know how that one works because their whole ideology is backed up by mainstream media, social media, and just about every single institution on this planet. Again, really, all of this doesn't make much sense, does it? But there's one point this person makes that I want to touch on very briefly, and they talk about trans youth. Right? They say they want gender-affirming care, life-saving gender-affirming care for trans youth. Life-saving. Whose lives is it saving? Short-term happiness for long-term potential pain. How many people from the youth today will go through these processes, not only in England, the UK, but in America and other countries, and then later on in life will live to regret it? Just because people around them, social media, mainstream media, people like you have told them it's a great thing to do. No, you must do it. You will get accepted even more. Your life now has more meaning if you go about and make these changes. Irreversible changes to their bodies. They can't go back from those. That doesn't seem very positive to me. And if somebody stands for something like that, it says more about them than anything else. Kids should be nowhere near the option to make irreversible changes to their bodies. Taking puberty blockers, getting surgeries. They should be nowhere near those sort of things. But people like this, they want to push for it. Yet they don't understand the dangers behind it because, again, as I said, they want short-term happiness. They think it's short-term happiness for potential long-term pain. But maybe, you know, we're all in the wrong here. And in 10 to 15 years, there won't be anybody who regrets making these changes to their bodies. You know, kids going through the process, nobody will regret it. You know, nobody regrets it now, apparently. It's all sunshine and rainbows, according to the leftists and the liberals, progressives. It's all great. Anyway, the police actually intervened with this person and removed them from the building in this short clip. Thankfully, take a watch.
Stock's talk was disrupted by this. A protester glued their hands to the floor right in front of her, causing police to intervene. No more trans kids read a leaflet brought into the event.
This is how low we have stooped. Again, this is all to do with self-entitlement, the me syndrome, instant gratification, the ability to not have public debate, public discourse, and my opinions only matter. My individual truth is the only truth here. But that is the end of the video. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed today, then please for me, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave your comments down below about this whole situation. What are your takes on this person gluing themselves to the floor? I would like to know. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.